Your brain cannot tell the difference between a hungry lion and a low bank balance. To the oldest part of you, both are the exact same emergency. So the moment your account dips into the red, your body does something deeply unhelpful. It gets ready to run. From a number on a screen.
You are not in danger.
Nobody is chasing you. There is no predator in the room. Just a phone, a screen, and a small figure with a minus sign in front of it. And yet your heart starts to pound, your stomach knots, your hands go cold and a little damp. Being short on money feels physical. It feels like the body genuinely believes it might not last the month. So the question is simple, and it's a strange one. Why does a number do all that to a grown mammal? To understand the panic, you have to meet the man who first wrote it down. Back in 1914, a scientist named Walter Bradford Cannon described what he called the necessities of fighting or flight. He had noticed that every animal facing a threat does roughly one thing, a giant electrical discharge of the whole nervous system, prepping the body to either fight or run. And it all begins in a tiny, almond-shaped lump buried deep in your brain. It's called the amygdala. The amygdala has exactly one job: spot danger and scream. And when it screams, a chain reaction fires off in under a second. The amygdala alerts the hypothalamus, which prods the pituitary gland, which dumps a hormone that jolts your adrenal glands awake. Those glands flood you with adrenaline. Then comes cortisol, which shoves up your blood pressure, floods your veins with sugar, and quietly switches off your immune system. Your body has decided this is absolutely not the time to fight off a cold. There is a predator. There is always a predator. Except today, the predator is a direct debit, leaving your account at midnight. Next, your body raids its own fuel tank. Your liver helpfully starts pumping glucose into your veins. Instant energy, ready to power a sprint you are not about to take. Your liver is utterly convinced this is life or death. Your liver has seen things. Meanwhile, blood gets dragged away from your stomach and rerouted to your big muscles. Digestion just shuts down, because chewing through a sandwich is a luxury you cannot afford mid-chase. That is why dread kills your appetite. Your gut has been quietly informed that lunch can wait until after the emergency. The emergency being an email from your landlord. And the body keeps gearing up for a brawl that is never going to happen. Your pupils widen to let in more light, so you can see the threat coming. Your breathing speeds up, feeding oxygen to all that burning sugar. Your blood even starts clotting faster, getting a head start on a wound you will not actually get. Your muscles clench and tremble, loaded like a spring. So there you are, coiled, wide-eyed, fast-clotting, ready for war. Sat on the sofa, holding a phone. And running isn't even the only setting. We say fight or flight, but the body actually keeps a few more options on the shelf. There's freeze, go completely still, and pray the danger loses interest. There's flop, there's faint, there's even the one researchers call fawn. Plenty of animals just play dead and wait for the threat to wander off. Which means, if you have ever dealt with a frightening brown envelope by shoving it in a drawer and pretending it does not exist, congratulations. That is the freeze response. You are playing dead at your own post. Now, money is uniquely cruel to this ancient kit. A real predator at least has the decency to leave. The zebra sprints off, the threat gives up, and the calming half of your nervous system flips everything back to rest and digest. That is the whole design. One short burst, then peace. But a bank balance does not wander off into the long grass. The rent is still due tomorrow, and the day after, and the one after that. The threat never breaks line of sight. So, an alarm built to blare for 90 frantic seconds just stays on. For months. For years. There's one final cruelty, and it's all about control. Cannon's researchers found that when you believe you have no power over a threat, the dread gets worse, not better. And the stressed brain reads anything vague or uncertain as flat-out hostile. It assumes the fuzzy shape in the dark is there to kill you. So picture the perfect storm, a threat you can't see, can't fight, and can't outrun. That isn't a lion, that's the gas bill. And your nervous system handles the two of them in exactly the same way. Which brings us at last to the Guppies. In July 1992, a biologist named Lee Dugatkin ran a study that should haunt every anxious person alive. He sorted little guppies into 3 groups by personality: bold, ordinary, and timid, based on how they each reacted to a smallmouth bass, a fish that very much wanted to eat them. The bold ones swam right up to inspect it. The timid ones hid. Then he dropped all of them into a tank with the bass and simply waited. 60 hours later, he came back to count the survivors. 40% of the timid fish were still alive, 15% of the ordinary, and the brave, relaxed, confident ones, every single one, eaten. So here is the punchline your body has known all along. The fish that treated every passing shadow like a deadly crisis is still swimming. The calm, easy-going ones, who decided everything was probably fine, got eaten first. Your panic, it turns out, is not a glitch. It is a survival feature, hundreds of millions of years old, just doing its job a little too well. You are not broken for feeling broke. You are a very nervous guppy who learned to check a banking app. And the bass never leaves.